Hello and welcome guys. Today is another topic about Linux boot issues. Today what I'm going to show you when you face kernel panic related error when you reboot your Linux system. So possible reason I would say when you get kernel panic error is the main you have to check your kernel. Your kernel is probably not installed properly, or the initRD image related to your kernel is not created properly, or for some reason you have installed some recent modules, or in Windows world we call them as drivers, and you have not regenerate your initRD image, then you could also get kernel panic error. Okay, so and I have faced this kind of error, kernel panic error, in the scenario of recent patching. So whenever people patch the system and they reboot the system, they usually face this issue. So why you have issues when you patch your system and you reboot? Because the main reason is like I said, you probably have not installed your initRD image. So what is the reason behind your initRD image is not created properly? It can be because of your /boot partition. The /boot partition, you have to ensure that there is enough space to create a new initRD image. So in case if you do not have initRD image, if you do not have space in /boot partition, then your initRD image will not going to create properly, and due to that you may not notice, and you reboot the system and you will have end up with that kernel panic issues. So before reboot or after applying the patch, you just need to ensure that /boot has enough space and your initRD image is installed properly. And also you have to ensure your /temp and /usr. So these two file system has enough space to apply your patches. So if you are ensuring that, you would not probably face the issue of creating initRD image. Okay, so let me just reboot it. So here you can see there are kernel information in menu prompt. So first one is about the kernel and the version it has mentioned, and the other you can see there is something about rescue. I will tell you what is that. So let me just boot the system normally, and when I try to boot it, I see an error saying that initRD image not found. Okay, so and again if I press enter, you can able to see here there is an error. There is a big error you can see, and above here you can see kernel panic not syncing. So this is the kernel panic error. So now how you are going to troubleshoot it? So first thing what you have to do is you just have to reboot your system again. And for your information, I'm running RHEL 7.3. So once you reboot it, you just have to go to this rescue prompt here, and in RHEL 6 or the earlier version we do not have this option, and we had to boot our system with any Linux version, and we need to go to rescue mode, and there we need to troubleshoot. But in RHEL 7 we already have this built in your OS, so you just need to go with this rescue image and you have to boot your system. So let me just select, I just selected that, and I'm just trying to boot my system now. And if I just press escape, I can see my system is trying to boot up. it will going to take hardly 5 or 10 seconds. Okay, so my system is up. Let me just log in. Right, so let me just open a terminal here and increase the font size. So now if I just do a uname minus a or r, I can see the same kernel information and other information about the kernel and when it has built. So how the system came up, if I just go to /boot and do an ll here, I can able to see there is an initRD image. This is for my kdump image, and there is one more here. You can see initramfs rescue image. So I have booted my system with this initRD image. So it is nothing but a temporary initRD image. If when you have issue something similar like kernel panic, then you would be able to boot your system. It is saying a rescue, so it is similar like whatever the action you would have done in earlier distribution in rescue mode, you would be able to do the same thing here. So this is the initRD. With this it has booted and the kernel. So now you would be able to do any action as you do in rescue mode. So now the problem is why my system end up with the kernel panic and it was unable to boot, because of the initRD image. So initRD image is there for kdump and for rescue, but for my kernel it is not there. If I do uname minus r, this is my kernel version. So with this kernel, if I see here related initRD image, I do not have it. So what I have to do is I have to create a new initRD image. So for that there are two commands. If you are familiar with mk-initRD command, you can also use that. We used to use this command in earlier distribution in RHEL 6 or 5. And if you just do an help here, you would be able to see an example how you are going to create an initRD image. So here you can see initRD image. You have to specify your current kernel version and also your kernel version here, and the last extension here is with .img, that means image. So you can use this command, and also there is one more command called drecut. So you can also use this drecut command, which is a new and it has a better functionality with compared to mk-initRD. So you can also use drecut command to create your initRD image. So for now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use drecut command and specifying the file under /boot, and I'm going to specify the same thing because this is the image I need for my kernel. So let me just remove here, and -f is for preloaded modules. You can see here -f option, and let me just specify the kernel version here. That's it. Now if I just run this command, it should create a new initRD image. Since this file is a little bigger, it will going to take a minute probably, or 30 seconds. it is taking a little time than expected. Anyway, so it is done. So now I got a prompt here, and if I just clear the screen and do an LL again, I would be able to see a new image is created. So this is a new image created. So now if I just reboot the system, I should not be having that kernel panic error, and my system should boots up normal. Okay, so my system is back, and if I just log in with root, and I would be able to see my desktop here. So this is how guys need to troubleshoot kernel panic error, and you have to ensure when you patch your system you have those prerequisite like /boot, usr, and /temp. Those three file system has enough space, otherwise the most likely you will end up with this initRD issues. So I believe you like the video and this video is informative for you. If you feel this video is informative, then please subscribe my channel and also hit like. Thank you so much for watching my video. Have a good day.
Wherever I go, wherever I see, I remember